Today we have a live with Shailendraji. So let me introduce myself and Shailendraji first of all. My documented name is Sharada Koragaila and my nickname is Simi. So I am the founder to the Simi's World, and I'm the first Indian vegan woman who climbed the Mount Kilimanjaro. My guest name is Shailendraji, and he is with us. We are going to discuss today so many things about the holistic life and the roots of veganism, many more with Shailendra ji. And I want to tell you a few things about Shailendra ji. He's a naturalist, permaculturalist, and MD in alternative medicine, yoga, meditation, traditional foods, fermentation, sattvic, plant-based health practitioner he is. Thank you so much, Shailendra ji, for joining with me. And so many people are here. Okay, so my question is, I want to ask you, uh, first, I told you about you, but you're an engineer, right?
Yes.
And then how come an engineer came to this plant-based food and health practitioner? Like,
Yeah. So engineering is only profession, but we have to live our life, right? So we have to live in this body. So we have to live our life. So whatever may be profession, but we have to live in harmony with the nature. That is very important. So this body is a vehicle where we are traveling in this body. So this vehicle needs fuel. So we have to give right fuel. So we should understand what is the fuel meant for this human body. That is very important. So profession is just for doing your like contributing your part of your contribution for the world. So everyone will be gifted with some skill. Like some may be interested in art, music, some may be engineer or a doctor. So some may be multi-talented also. So though I was doing my engineering, I correlated all those topics, like whatever subjects I have studied, into my inner engineering, into my external engineering. Like maybe if I study network in my engineering, so I correlate with internal network, the communication network within the cell, the communication network within the plant kingdom, like under the soil, the fungal kingdom. That's how I correlate all those subjects, the communication between the extraterrestrial world, between the cosmos, between the stars and planets. So ultimately, it's a network system. So whatever you may be proficient in, but the concepts what we have to study, it will be same in everything. Maybe the terms will be different. So that's how I have my study of approach was.
oh, nice, good to know. So my question is, first of all, what kind of a food we have to take? Either it's a vegetarian or non-vegetarian or vegan. What kind of a food we have to take?
What's there in the word? It may be veganism or vegetarianism or non-vegetarianism. We have kept some word, right? But if we will try to understand what by nature we are meant to eat. We just keep the words aside. So
Okay.
if there are some fruits in front of you, some grains in front of you, a meat or an egg or different types of food in front of you. So without processing anything, which can we select without doing anything, which is ready to for this human being? So if you just think with your mind, grains we can't eat like birds. Grains are meant for birds. By nature, grain is a seed. So seeds nature is to grow back into a plant. So birds are given that harmony, like they are gifted with that food because they help in propagation. When they eat the grains, only the weak seeds will get digested for the birds. The strong seeds will have strong determination chemicals called phytic acids or anti-nutrients. So it will be protecting that grain. So only it will not get digested in the bird's stomach and it will come out through its poop. That's how it will help in propagation. Like that, squirrels or some other rodents will eat the grains. So squirrels will pick up all the nuts and hide in different places. Only few seeds it will eat. So that's how it will help in propagation. Likewise, we humans, like there are animals like ruminants, like cows or different goats or other things. So they eat only grass varieties. But grass also has to live. It has to survive. So in the nature, nature's law has been designed very beautifully. There is a harmony between each and every species. Like grass is offering some part of its food to the cow, because cow in return it's giving dung. So that dung is a combination of diversified grass varieties which it's being eating. So in the nature, nutrition cannot be absorbed with one species. It is a exchange. Like suppose we depend on trees for oxygen. So trees depend on other beings for its carbon dioxide. It depends on animals. It depends on insects, birds. So we can live only in harmony. We can't just live without any other being. Like just imagine bees are missing in the world. So lot of things gets disturbed in the ecosystem. So every species are living in harmony. So meat we can't eat raw. We have to cook. Grains we have to cook. Then even if you see a tiger, it will not just catch any of its prey. It will observe which animal is weak. It will keep observing, and whichever is weak, there is a concept in science called survival of the fittest. So whoever is strong, he will survive. So if he is weak, he can't survive. So animal which is weak cannot survive. So that will be becoming prey for that other animal. And the animal which has lived its life, definitely it will be weak. So that animal will become prey for that animal. So that is a balance how nature has created. So basically meat is for other carnivorous animals. So for us human beings, we are designed only to eat fruits. Like normally there'll be a lot of debate with non-vegetarian people, or with other people who will not who will have different types of food. Like even cooking is also killing. Even plucking is
Yeah.
also killing. If you see, fruit is a womb. Fruit is a womb for the tree. So if you just touch it, it will come. That is a stage when we are supposed to eat. It
Oh,
is nurturing the seed inside. Fruit is a womb for the tree, nurturing the seed inside. So when the seed is ready, the fruit gets detached from the tree. So it's inviting other species like birds or animals or human beings with its aroma and color and smell. So when the other species are going towards it, so they will get that fruit pulp as its food. The seed can be propagated with that species. So we by nature, either we have to pick up a fruit which is fallen down. If you don't pick up in time on time, then it will rot, because nature has
yeah.
its own way of decomposition. So because you are not getting it, so the other microbial species will come and eat the pulp, and seed will remain. That's how it will get propagated. So by nature, we are meant to eat fruits. So even grains are not meant for us by nature. Even, yeah, there are some tender vegetables which we can eat raw. Not all vegetables, again, root vegetables like carrot, beetroot, we keep eating. Yeah, we have adopted, like since ages, we have formulated how to cook meat, how to cook grains. That is different. But naturally, it is not meant for us. Though we have formulated various mechanisms to convert which is suitable for us to eat, but still it is leaving some complications which we are seeing.
Okay. So, in this case, you're saying we have to eat only fruits,
Basically, we are meant to eat fruits.
but we are cooking and eating some grains also,
See, when
like
we are
bird.
eating fruit, there is lot of prana, there is lot of life force. Ultimately, what do you need? Like we need energy, right? So for energy, so we need that life force. So that life force is there in that living food, fruit. So there are some people who will not even eat fruits. They will just take that energy directly from the cosmos. Like if you see
Oh,
how the tree is getting the nutrition or energy. So here, to for the energy to be supplied on the earth, entire cosmos will take role. Like each and every star, planet, which will be transmitting certain frequencies like iron frequency, calcium frequency, zinc frequency, whatever you name. Each and every star will be transmitting those frequencies with the help of sun and moon. Like sun is Navagraha Adhipati, moon is Nakshatradipati. So these two are feminine and masculine aspects. So these two energies are absorbing all those feminine and masculine aspects of these frequencies which are generating from these cosmic territory. Then it is transmitting on the earth. On the earth, every plant will be absorbing certain frequencies which it is tuned to. It cannot absorb entire frequencies. So there is a
Okay.
mutual exchange now. So one plant will be absorbing calcium, other plant will be absorbing iron. Then the excess, whatever calcium it has, it will be sharing to the other species by the fungal network. There is a beautiful fungal network underneath. So through which the nutrients are exchanged. There is a broadcast message. So I have this nutrition in excess. I want this nutrition. So supply me. So that's how the fungal network, mycelium fungi, will exchange the nutrients. Apart from that, there is a microbial activity which will help in breaking down and converting that nutrients and supplying those nutrients. And again, it will be recycled. Like when there is a leaf fall and when there is a dung and with integration of other species, that will become humus rich soil. So that nutrition will be shared among the trees. Again, that humus soil, which is bioavailable minerals, will penetrate deeper and become mineral, metal, and bedrock. So where again deep-rooted trees will be absorbing those minerals with the help of microbes. It will break down those soil minerals, supplies those minerals to the tree. Again, the tree will be absorbing those nutrition. Then the cycle continues. So in that cycle, in that ecosystem, the fruit which we are getting, like every species are meant to eat some or the other part of the fruit to balance that ecosystem. So we are meant to eat fruit. So when we eat the fruit, we are helping in propagating the seed and the nutrition cycle continues. And when we
Yeah,
eat
here
fruit,
one question for you. Someone is asking here. What about the vegetables? Can you mention any vegetable name that we can eat? When you're
yes.
saying about we
So
have to eat.
yes. So before that, let me complete this. So when we eat any food, we are getting prana, the cosmos. Like if we are in the conscious state where we can absorb that cosmic energy, like our Rishi Munis were in that state of being. Even now, if you type breatharians, they are a set of people who are practicing by taking the cosmic energy with the air. They don't eat anything. So that practices are also available. Everyone can be a breatharian, but you need a certain level of consciousness for it. It's just a practice. So now when you eat that food, so ultimately that is energy. But when we are eating grains or carbohydrates or proteins or vitamins or minerals, ultimately that food will be converted into sapta dhatus: chyle, blood, muscle, bone marrow, ojas, and prana. So to convert all into the sapta dhatus, the body has to work extra. So in that process, at least fruits will be easily absorbed into prana because it is having fructose. Like many people say, fruit has sugars. We are like it is not safe for diabetes. So the complex sugars in the grains, the body has to work extra to break down that complexities and convert into suitable soluble sugars. So, but fruits has that natural sugars, which directly it will convert into prana. But if you are having complex carbohydrates, which is C6H12O6, the chemical composition, so ultimately it is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So these are nothing but the inert element, which is the prana. So simple food is for us, basic food is fruits. So in that, vegetables which come under fruit category like tomato, cucumber, like yellow cucumber, which are ripe. So these all ripe vegetables like tomato, yellow cucumber, chow chow. Then you have your what you call this, like Ivy Guard. You have um, parval you have. These all under ripe condition will be very tasty. Even bitter gourd will, when it is
Oh,
ripe, it will be sweet. So
okay.
but bitter gourd, when it is raw, it will be bitter. But when it is ripe, it will be very light bitter, but it will be sweet. The rind, especially on the seed, will be sweet. So there are other set of vegetables like tender greens, like suppose rich gourd. Rich gourd, when it gets matured, the fibers will be hard. So you can't just pluck from that stem. But when it is tender, it will just break. The seed has not formed. So at that stage, we are supposed to eat, like cucumbers, rich gourd, bottle gourd, all these gourds, mostly gourds, are green category, like green vegetable category, which we can eat raw. So ivy gourd, ripe ivy gourd will be sweet. Raw ivy gourd, like green ivy gourd, we can eat maybe few, but we can't eat more. Like we get gastric issues. So like that, brinjal, when it is very tender, it will be very tasty. But once the seed has formed inside, it will be a string, like weird taste. It will be very strong and pungent in taste. We can't eat raw at that time. So selecting of that vegetable is very important. That stage of selecting is very important.
So I want to know about your diet. You're saying fruits and vegetables also, you are so choosy. So what kind of diet you are taking right now?
So since 3 years now, like I have been practicing veganism, not just in food, but in my lifestyle since 7 years. So since 3 years, I am been practicing, like in that also I was practicing cooking methods of grains and all. Some probiotics, fermented, like traditional fermented recipes and all. Then slowly, like whenever I used to get a chance, I used to practice eating fruits, and whenever I am in the farms and when I travel in the forest areas, I don't even feel much hunger. I can just take that fresh air. I just eat very less. So since 3 years, I have been practicing eating 95% fruits and vegetables. Like in that 80% I can say I'll have fruits. Then maybe 10% I'll have vegetables, raw vegetables. 5% or 8% I'll have cooked vegetables like carrot, beetroot, some vegetables which we can't eat raw. I either ferment them or cook them. But cooking will kill the life in it, reduce the life in it. So fermentation is one technique where we can, like suppose this is my carrot pickle. Like this is raw carrot grated and fermented with cultures, lactobacillus cultures. So this can be added in your salads with other vegetable combinations, and you can have it like a vegetable, like raw. You need not cook it. Microbes will cook it. It's called as microbial cooking. So suppose if I have to eat carrot raw, so that case is like when I don't get anything, like I'm not getting any fruits, I just go to the local market. There is no other option. There is only carrot, for imagine. So what I do, I just take 2 carrots. I don't eat many carrots also. I chew it and spit the fiber. I just take the juice in it because my saliva is very important. So when I chew well, my saliva will be mixing those sugars. I absorb, I suck the juice. That fibers are very complex for us. Like the body has to take extra pain to digest that fibers. So I don't take, like I chew thoroughly, and there'll be no sweetness in that fibers now. I suck it. I'll take at 5 to 10 minutes in chewing 1 carrot. Yeah. So I've been practicing like this. So, so when I started transitioning, initially I used to eat grains. Like suppose I go to remote places, I don't even get anything else. Like there is only grain. I don't mind eating, but I follow the cooking methods. I ferment it. So hardly I need less food. So without food also it's fine for me. Or else I just prefer something fermented food, or maybe I prefer to eat cooked vegetables because vegetables are everywhere present. Maybe I'll some potato, carrot, beans, or some legumes. I just sprout them and cook them and eat. So we have a lot of choices.
You got my question? Anybody can follow your diet system?
Yes, yes. Anyone can follow.
Okay.
Definitely yes, but they should not jump all at once.
Okay. So how can they start?
So what happens is one should not jump into any diet practices. It may be veganism, or it may be vegetarian. Like even a person who is non-vegetarian, he need not just jump into vegetarian. First, you need to understand what the underlying principle is. Like if you see for the child, newborn child, when we introduce food for him in the beginning, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. I can hear you properly.
So when we introduce some food for him in a beginning, like we have a ritual called Annaprasarana. So first time when we introduce grains like cooked rice, will he absorb, like will he accept that food, or will he spit it out? So that should be the question you need to observe. So normally they will spit out. They don't accept the rice first. Later by force we'll be inducing the cooked food for them. Even milk also, apart from mother's milk, any other milk, normally 90% children, they don't prefer to drink milk. So anything which is not to their natural instinct, they will reject in the first moment. Even an alcoholic, even a person who is smoking also, first body's reaction is rejection. The body will not accept it first. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So now, keeping this in mind, now next, suppose already a person is having non-vegetarian food. He has adopted that culture. Now somehow he came to understanding about vegetarianism or veganism. First, he may emotionally get convinced to change into this lifestyle and food habits, but internally there'll be a lot of cravings where he'll be suppressing, and that suppression will lead into a problem. So what he has to do is he has to find, there are two ways: either take a strong resolution and determination, like suppose a person who is doing fasting, Navaratra fasting, or 40 days Ayappa fasting, some Diksha. So during that determination, like for suppose 9 days Navaratri, he will not even eat the food which he has left for that 9 days. Say suppose he is only on fruit fast. So he will not touch rice, and his mind also will not go onto the rice for those 9 days. But on 10th day, immediately he will start eating whatever he likes, he will be eating. So this 9 days he could not deviate because he took a resolution. He has created a program in his mind. It's called neuro-linguistic programming. So if your determination is strong, then definitely you can continue that for that particular period of time. So that is one way, like out of like nowhere, like I just came to an understanding that I don't want to eat any cooked food. Yes, you can do it, but there'll be little complications. So what I recommend is try to slow down. So first introduce natural alternatives, like suppose instead of dairy there are various nut milks, instead of meat there are various vegetable based meats which one can introduce in their food habits, so that he will have that, for mind especially emotionally, he will still have that feeling like he's eating. But main understanding is, if one has to turn into the natural food, it has to come from their heart. They should not
Yeah,
suppress
true.
the emotions and do.
I totally agree with you.
So for that reason only, we have to give alternatives first, uh, along with that understanding, like why we are not supposed to eat non-vegetarian or any dairy. So, or even grains. So once we understand and give some alternatives, and then it will take time to shift completely. So that transitioning time is very important.
Yeah, true. So, you are saying about the dairy milk right now we are talking about. So my question is, so dairy milk is not at all good, or which milk is good? How we are getting, the vitamins and all? Can you please explain?
Yeah. So, what does the cow? Suppose we take cow milk. So, cow eats grass. So, the grass is converted into blood and the sapta dhatus, and finally, from one dhatu, we are getting that milk. So, that's what I was trying to tell. The tree is already having all the nutrition in the form of fruit. So, we need not worry about any nutrition deficiencies in a plant-based food. Yes, if we are going with nut milk, see, milk also is not required. If you are eating fruit and following some cooking methods in grain, milk is not at all required. But we have that habit of drinking milk, for example. So in that case, you can opt for coconut milk, you can opt for cashew milk, you can opt for almond milk. But only problem with seeds like almonds and peanuts and sesame or these seeds, it has anti-nutrients. So just making right way of milk is very important. Like many people are allergic to nuts, nut milks as well.
Yeah.
So we have to soak the nuts. It may be almonds or peanuts. So you have to soak that nuts for 6 to 8 hours minimum. Then remove that water. You should not consume that soaked water. Again,
Okay.
soaking time varies for each and every nut. Like sesame requires 3 to 4. Like if you soak for a long time, it will turn bitter. So if it is brown sesame, you have to change water in between, like every 1 hour. So up to
Okay.
2 hours of soaking is enough. Or if it is white sesame, half an hour to 1 hour of soaking is enough. So soak and
Okay.
remove that water. Yes, you may be losing some nutrients, but eradicating the anti-nutrients in that seed is very important. Like almonds
Mhm.
require 6 to 8 hours of soaking time. So once you remove that soaked water, rinse it well, and then blend it fine and filter the fibers, then you will get that nut milk. So if you want the complete benefit of it, then that seed should be sprout activated, then shade dried, sun dried, and sun cooked. Then after you sun cooked, you can make a nut butter like sesame butter, peanut butter, almond butter. And from there, if you want to make milk, you can just mix in water and add boiling water. Add into boiling water with sweetener, whatever you want, like jaggery or dates. Then you can have a nice nut milk. That is the healthiest way where you can have nut milk. The other option is just soak fresh almonds for 6 to 8 hours, remove the water, blend and filter.
Okay. So one more is how to take care of our stomach according whatever the food we are taking. Sometimes it's getting upset, right? So how to take care of our stomach and how it is going to reflect upon our lifestyle, like mind and body.
So whenever stomach is getting upset, then it indicates that we have eaten some wrong food. So either the body is not able to digest it, it may be right food also, but already there is some toxicity inside. So at that time, fasting is very important. So when you can fast at that time, but for energy, you can have some like easy digestible, absorbable fruit like orange or just soaked dates. So just to give you energy, not to trouble your stomach in digestion, just to supply you energy, little of fruit which is easy to absorb and fast. Like you can go for water fast also, but maybe we require energy. So fruit is fruit will give instant energy. So keep having fruits every 1 or 2 hours. Let the stomach body has its self healing mechanism. We don't need to use any medication. We have to just give time and rest and allow the body to heal. Once the body gets healed, automatically you will have hunger. Automatically you can continue eating.
Okay. So one of our followers is asking Veggie Food Heaven, what is the sources for calcium, zinc, and B12 for vegans?
Yeah, nice question. Yeah, again, I said we need prana for our survival, for our energy. Like ultimately, we need that life force, prana, which we can take directly from the cosmos or from the fruit. But if we are going, like, see, no animal in the wild will not, observe whether it has calcium, vitamin, mineral, B12, nothing like that. It will just align to its natural principles, whatever it is meant to eat, and it is very happy. We humans, we are very intelligent. We have discovered many things. Who has given name of calcium? We humans, right? We have discovered. We have what is calcium? Ultimately, it is some chemical composition of some mineral and some carbon. Like, ultimately, it's carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, some inert element, right? So it's a chemical bond which will form into calcium. Like even if you Google and see the calcium molecular structure, it will be a composition of some carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, some elements. That's it. So we need not worry about any minerals. Again, I repeat, liver is a very beautiful chemical factory. If you are supplying current like prana, liver can make whatever minerals it wants. But if we are not in that state, yeah, we have to be in that state to receive that, to understand that. body has that ability, but because we are not in that conscious state, we ourselves block that mechanism with our low thinking. So we can, if we can understand, liver is a very beautiful factory, chemical factory. It can make all those minerals. But even if you are not in that state, no worries. Every vegetable, every fruit, every nut, every seed has all those minerals and vitamins. Like it may be calcium or
Zinc,
vitamin B or
B12.
uh, manganese or magnesium or phosphorus. Everything will be there. So in different proportion. So in plant-based, we can get entire nutrients whatever we required, but many people are forced, like no vegetable or fruit is being advertised, right? Only why milk is being advertised. Everyone, doctors recommend milk. There are a lot of advertisements where we are hearing about milk because it has become an industry, right?
Oh,
So
got it.
the calcium in the milk is actually very harmful. Many osteoporosis and calcium deficiency problems is coming because of milk, dairy milk.
Okay. So, see, one more thing. Today when I'm discussing about our live and vegan food and all, one of my colleague he's saying, in this COVID time, doctors are suggesting to eat non-veg more than the vegetarian or vegan food. They're saying doctors are saying directly, if you are taking non-veg food, you'll get a lot of nutrients or proteins or vitamins, whatever you will get. So COVID, that kind of viruses, it won't affect to our body. Is this true?
Okay, let me talk about virus first. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, virus is there. The situation is there. But if you try to understand what is virus, there are only two factors where we get ill health. One is toxins in our body. The other is improper nourishment or not supplying of that prana. So what are toxins? So toxins from environment, toxins from air, water, then toxins from mobile radiation, LED lights, even electrical wires has radiation, mobile has radiation. So these all are toxins. Apart from that, toxic in food, like chemicals in the food. So even we are giving poison into our body, which are toxins, so the body has a capability to push out all these toxins out, but we have to give time for it. So suppose you are cleaning your house, suddenly some guest, uninvited guest has arrived into your house. So what happens? Will you attend that guest or you will just continue cleaning your house?
Okay, I'll attend the guest.
Yeah, similarly, inside our body, when it is doing the detoxification process, normally we have to listen to our body hunger and we are supposed to eat. But we are not living in that state. Whenever we want, if we are getting bored, we will eat. Just for socializing, we'll eat. There are a lot of scenarios where we will eat unnecessarily, even though body is not asking. So maybe at that time the body is busy in detoxification process. At that time when we are supplying food, it has to address that food inside, which is coming inside. So when the body is concentrating on the digestion again, these toxins all get accumulated aside. So these toxins actually they try to accumulate, and at one point of time they try to come out. So it may come through cold or cough or phlegm or diarrhea or sweat or something like that. But again, there also we try to suppress the symptoms. Like we feel like cold is bad, fever is bad. Nothing is bad. Everything is body's mechanism to detox. So in that process, when the toxins are overwhelmed inside the body, when we are not giving time, so they will the body white blood cells which are there, which is our immune system, they will take help of the pathogenic bacteria. So these bacteria, which are harmful bacteria, whatever we call, there are beneficial bacteria and harmful bacteria. Why will nature create something harmful? Nothing is actually harmful. If a knife is used to kill a person, to cut a vegetable, it depends on you how you are using that knife. The military person, if he's killing an enemy, like after warning, also if the enemy is coming inside, So he has to take that action. So there it is his responsibilities. So similarly, if there is a drainage sink, if there is some food particles accumulated, so cockroaches will come. Because there is food, cockroaches are coming. If suppose there is no food particle, cockroaches will not come. Similarly, outside the drainage, pigs are there. So every species are there to balance those toxicity. So similarly, even inside our body, there are pathogenic bacteria. Even if you see the lab reports, you will see permissible limit. There will be some trace of pathogenic bacteria. If they are not there, then we are not healthy. Pathogenic bacteria should also be there inside our body. Trace number, there will be some trace figure, which is permissible trace figure. So that will be there. So when there is toxic overload and the body's regular detoxification system is compromised, then these pathogenic bacteria starts building up because there is food for them. So they will start breaking down. So I correlate these pathogenic bacteria as Rakshasas. Like suppose if you want to dig some trench. So if with human power, it may take 1 day. But if you just take a JCB, you can just do that, finish the job within an hour. So even Devatas and Rakshasas, when they have to churn the Kshira Samudra for Amrita, so Devatas have to take the help of Rakshasas. So Rakshasas are not bad. Every species in the universe, in the creation, has a roles and responsibilities. They have to be placed right. So because we have given wrong inputs, so and we have compromised our system, so this pathogenic bacteria has taken over. It will cause infection because of these toxins, not because infections will cause because of toxic accumulation. Bacteria is only one level of interfering. So bacteria will come over, try to clean up the toxins. Once the toxins are broken down, then the infection will subside. So to control that pathogenic bacteria, temperature increases. Our white blood cells increases the temperature to control that pathogenic bacteria. So that's how there is a homeostasis inside the body. So if you can understand this mechanism, it's very beautiful. But what we do, we will try to take some antibiotics. We will kill all that beneficial microbes also, for which we will become weak. But only symptoms have been subsided. Toxin still remains. So there it will close. The chapter, like that cycle closes. But toxins will accumulate inside. So body has a mechanism called virus mechanism. Like every season change or when there is a harmony. Like if there is a similar person who has that condition, who has that viral virus which got triggered inside him in that detoxification process. And like suppose I am yawning. Out of 10 people, maybe 5 people already took rest and is very energetic. Those 5 people will not get yawn. But other 5 people who are similar in my wavelength, who are also tired, definitely they will get yawning. So yawning is like contagious. Similarly, virus is also like contagious, is not just from the superficial thing. Unless and until it is injected, it cannot spread from one person to one person. Only when there is toxin inside, it will generate that program. It's like RNA. RNA is like a mRNA. Virus, if scientifically, if you see, it is mRNA. It is not having any DNA. No cell will be there in virus. So it is only program. It's some genetic code which will trigger inside based on the toxicity. So why we lose senses of smell, taste and all? Because body has to be given rest. Body has to push out all these toxins. So earlier days, like in old days, whenever we had viral fevers, there is no medication. Many doctors give antibiotics during viral condition. It will not work. Doctors know it. So unfortunately, I don't know why doctors, not all doctors, some doctors will give antibiotics, which will not at all work. Yeah, they may give paracetamol, they may give some other symptomatic treatment. But when we interfere with such symptomatic treatment, you may address the symptom, but you can't address the root cause. So what is the root cause? Toxin. So at that time, we have to just give rest, let the body detox. At that time, we need to survive. We need energy. So eat simple, light, easy fruit juice or something like easily absorbable food. Leave the body, give body rest, give time for the body. That's it. But when you again complicate with some basically non-vegetarian food, also if person is eating, no problem will happen when he is able to digest even poison. Even if he is eating non-vegetarian food, if the body is having capability to digest and detox those toxicity which is accumulating, then not a problem. But already body is compromised at that stage. When you are giving more complex food, then yeah, it may give it may shoot up your energies momentarily, but it will leave lot of toxic residues, lot of heaviness. So who will give time for that heavy particles to digest? So you have to eat more, you have to gain more energy. So it is again a trap. So understand, give body rest, supply energy through simple food, which is fruits, and nourish yourself. Once the toxins are cleared, then that's it. You will not have any health problem. But if you try to suppress again this virus as well, so next stage, that may lead to cancer. That may lead to other problems like arthritis or autoimmune disorders
Okay.
or many other problems wherever the toxins get accumulated.
Okay. So see here, just when I met you first time, you said, now also you said you're chewing carrot and you're throwing the one, right? And you're taking inside the juice only. Instead of that, why we can't take the direct juice?
Very good question. So when we drink the juice, like say suppose to drink 1 glass of carrot juice, you need at least 5 to 6 carrots. And how much time will a person consumes like 1 glass of juice? A conscious person will sip the juice slowly. Maybe he may take 5 to 10 minutes to drink 1 glass of juice. But ideally 2 to 3 minutes or 1 minute, he will just gulp the juice. So when you gulp that juice, it will spike the sugars because the saliva is there in your mouth. The digestion happens through mouth. So when you are directly absorbing without mixing your saliva, then there will be heaviness in the stomach. The stomach has to work extra. It will happen in the initial
Okay.
when your body can adapt to anything. It can.
I have another question here. So they're asking, are we need to buy all organic?
So organic foods can be chemical free but not nutrient rich. That is very important to understand. Organic foods are nutrition rich only when it is grown in the diversified natural environment, which is very important. There are people who are following natural farming methods, cow farming, which is very good. So vegans will not even entertain cow farming.
Yeah.
See, you need to understand cows are there in that ecosystem. Like unless and until they are not exploited, if they are just living in that farm, just just in that ecosystem, then nothing problem. The dung is anyway for its soil only. It is nourishing the plant only. So we need not worry about cow-based farming. It is healthy. But exploiting for cow dung, exploiting them, tying them and exploiting, that is a problem. So just leave the animals, birds and
They are.
biodiversity. Then it is natural farming.
Okay. So what is veganism for you? According to you, what is the meaning of vegan?
Okay, veganism, it's not according to me. I am telling the meaning according to people who have designed the term veganism.
Okay.
So veganism style where you'll not exploit any animal species. So like it may be cow or goat or chicken or horse or buffalo or it may be bee also. So there are many animal compositions which are adding in cosmetics also. So for that reason, I don't wear any leather. I wear only naturally
Cotton.
grown cotton, not just organic. I prefer desi, native variety, desi cotton. I just keep 3 or 4 pairs of clothes. I don't fill my cupboard. I just keep 4 pairs of clothes, 2 pairs in spare. That's it. I'm a minimalist. So why I don't wear stitched fabric? Because it involves polyester fiber, polyester thread. Again, that is not going into the soil. So I don't don't use any woolen, because see, nothing is bad. But in the modern world, everything is being exploited. Like woolen, when even a sheep needs that protection. It has hair to protect itself, right? When there is extreme climates, even it will that only nature has given that wool for it, hair for it. So we try to remove that hair. And definitely it will grow, but it will take time. So we need to understand. And I have traveled on these fabrics with extra one cotton, like thick cotton shawl, Himachal.
You traveled within India?
Complete Himalayas, but lower Himalayas. I was very comfortable.
Okay.
So you can this yes within India. I traveled within India.
Okay.
So any woolen fabrics, I was even taking that cold winds. My body was not reacting. It was comfortable. It took time for it.
What about the people who are living outside India? You know, European countries and the Western other countries are a little bit, not little bit, so cold.
We need to understand not all the part of the earth. So even if you see Rishi Munis, they used to go into Himalayas and some other climatic conditions just for meditation. They don't eat. Basically, they will go into hibernation. There are animals which are there in that area which will go hibernate. Maybe we will go in certain climatic conditions, then we will come back. That's how nature was designed. But we have tried to occupy it everywhere. But okay, that was past. But now how we have to survive? Yes, still there are options. Without wool also, we have cotton, linen fabrics which will keep us warm.
Yeah, true. You are an MD, you have done in alternative medicine. How it is working? I mean, alternative medicine is without any English medicine, or what does that mean?
Yeah, so my treatment of methodology is completely natural food. Like, first of all, it may be any health issue. It may be sinus or migraine or cancer or BP or diabetes. So as I said, there are only two conditions, toxic accumulation and nourishment. So first I make them understand. This is only one thing, like whoever approaches me, this is the way I will make them understand. Definitely to reverse any health condition, it will take time. It will not recover within 1 week or 1 month. Yeah, superficially, some symptoms can be eradicated, can be overcome, but not all.
Okay. When we are talking about the yogurts and all, plant-based yogurts, especially how to, I mean, soaking and all, you said, right? 6 to 8 hours. So it should germinate or not?
Yeah, germination is important. Just sprout activation is enough. If you sprout more, it will turn bitter. Like suppose for peanuts, there'll be tiny bulb at the edge of the peanut. After soaking and leaving for 4 to 6 hours after removing the water, you will see like sprout should not come. Only at the edge, the germ will just wake up. That is the stage when we have to blend into milk and boil it and then cool it and then add your lacto fermentation starters. For starters, you can add chili crowns, which will have lactic acid bacteria, or you can add fenugreek seeds. But out of all, I observed chili crowns. It's a traditional method, and I introduced this concept in veganism 7 years back only. Like, or else earlier when I got introduced to veganism, people were adding some probiotic sachets to ferment their curds. Then I told, why you add all these things? We have a traditional culture of adding chili crowns. That is enough. So that's how I started promoting that chili crowns. It should be fresh chili crowns.
Wow, that is really, really very great. Even I am doing with the chili crowns, and it's very, easy without any probiotics and all.
And only in the beginning we need those chili crowns. Later on, once the curd forms, we can add that as a starter for the later batches.
Yeah, true. So
actually, the curd will taste good after second, third iteration. Like first iteration with chili crowns, it may not be tasting good, but the same curd, when you consecutively add for the later batches, from third or fourth batch, it will taste very good. Yeah, because there are healthy microbes there, the lively microbes are there, that will make you happy. Ultimately, we need to nourish our gut. We need to fill the gut with healthy microbes. We are trillions of microorganisms inside. So when we are eating cooked food, more of cooked food, there'll be less of microbial activity inside. So we have to eat lively food. So fruits are one lively food, the others are probiotics. But people who consume more of probiotic drinks, again, it is not suitable for everyone. Like in moderation, it's fine. But if we are indulging in eating over fermented foods, we get lethargy, we get drowsiness, because when we are having some probiotic, we need to expose to sun and soil. That is very important. If we have a sedentary lifestyle in front of computer indoors and we are eating lot of curd rice, and it may be plant-based curd also, we sleep, we'll get drowsy. So in moderation, it's fine. But fruits, no, it will not cause any problem. Yeah, body will ask you to stop once it is enough. Definitely, it will ask you to stop. Yeah, I am done now. I am full now.
So I am using, 5 or 6 chili crowns when I am doing this plant-based yogurt. But usually, how many crowns should I use?
Suppose you are making half liter of plant-based milk curd, 4 to 5 is enough.
Okay, 4 to 5 is enough. Okay, okay.
Even okra, even bendi has lactic acid bacteria. If
Oh,
you add that okra tops, it will also set into proper curd.
oh, great. This is the secret now I got to know. One more thing.
But these things should not be refrigerated. They should be fresh. So when you refrigerate, the lactic acid bacteria will reduce.
Okay. So in general, after this plant-based yogurt, how many days we can keep outside? Only one day, right?
Yeah. Or else it will turn sour.
Mm-hmm.
One day only we can keep.
Yeah, yeah. And in the refrigerator, we can keep it in 14 days.
But we
Fortnight.
can't, we don't have life. Like what will happen if you sit inside the refrigerator? What will happen to you? The
Okay.
same thing will happen to the microbes inside. So there is no point of eating any refrigerated foods. It's very
Anything. You mean
nutrition
anything, right?
deficient.
You mean anything?
Nothing. We should not use refrigerator at all.
Oh, okay.
It will not have any nutrition inside, no life inside.
Okay.
And in spite of that, what we do is after refrigerating, we will reheat it. That is more toxic.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, all the radiations will get infused inside that food, and we are eating that radiations. We are indulging that vata inside.
Okay. And these days, I'm observing more of the people, they are avoiding white rice and they're taking brown rice or going into the millets and all. Is this correct or not?
White rice has complex carbohydrates. It will be deficient in B vitamins and fibers. So all this while we were eating, many people were eating white rice, nothing happened. But nowadays since 10 years, this brown rice concept has been introduced. Millets have been introduced. So even doctors were recommending not to have white rice, have wheat, but wheat also has problem. So what happens here is rice has complex carbohydrates. So traditional method of cooking was they used to separate that starch and then eat that rice. So complex starches was fermented and they used to consume as a probiotic drink. They used to make a preparation called kuradukunda, like kali kunda. They used to make a pot and ferment it. It's a nice probiotic, traditional probiotic drink that they used to have for the next day. So that way, eating rice is not a problem. But yes, only white rice, if you are consuming after cooking like this also, it will lack B vitamins. So if you are managing B vitamins from fruits and vegetables, then eating rice after separating the starch and having fermented starch, which will help in balancing your B12 as well, then it will not be a problem. So including brown rice, millets is very good because the whole grains has B vitamins and minerals. Along with that, it has anti-nutrients. So when you soak and cook in excess water, separate that starches and ferment it. So fermentation will help to break down these anti-nutrients and convert into beneficial minerals. It will convert the complex carbohydrates into simpler sugars. Then it will have life in the food. So it will make it more bioavailable. B vitamins will be more bioavailable. So these all four benefits you will have when you are having that whole brown rice or millets. And I don't recommend people to have only one type of grains,
Mhm.
because like suppose brown rice will have only one type of B vitamin.
Okay.
Other millets will have other B vitamins. So always have diversified grains. If you are balancing with fruits and vegetables, you need not worry. You can just eat any limited grain, that would be enough.
Oh, great. Good to know. Thank you, Shailendra ji. And I will may go on another hour also, but you have given us 1 hour time. Thank you so much. And it's really,
Yeah.
really a great honor to me to talking with you and knowing about all the food system and everything, and sattvic food, plant-based food, health practice, yoga, meditation. We have done a lot of discussing, and here the people
One
are
more
also saying,
important aspect I want to let people know here is, in cooking we are doing these few mistakes. Like pressure cooking is one major problem
yeah.
with which we are not able to separate the starches, and the molecular structure is breaking down. It has less life. So we should avoid pressure cooking, number one, and avoid aluminium cookware. Completely aluminium, Teflon, non-stick, completely no.
No.
Because gas, okay, we can't avoid LPG gas, but slow cooking is very important. Then go for mud containers or soapstone containers. Even good quality stainless steel is fine. Then
Okay.
follow this cooking method of separating starches. And if it is legumes, don't eat raw sprouts. Steam the sprouts. If you are cooking dal, then remove the foam and then cook that dal. That is very important. Don't pressure cook the dal. And avoid heating oils. Even though you are taking cold press oil, if you are heating that oil, it will turn carcinogenic. What's the
Oh.
point of heating the cold press oil again? We should never heat the oil. So there are many videos without oil. We can put tadka, we can saute onions, and we can do everything
Mm.
without oil. There are many recipes, so zero oil. So, but we need fats. So healthy fats we can get from uh, like peanut paste, sesame paste, coconut paste, or nut butters. So we have to include these healthy nuts in a holistic form. Or if you still are in transition, so don't heat the or add the oil, cold press oil in the beginning, but you can add as a seasoning in the last. So with that heat, that kachapan will remove. That will be cooked a little bit. That would be fine, but
Okay.
never heat the oils. That is important. And salt also is inorganic. We can't absorb salt because already we have low gut microbes. So if you type, if you search in my post about biosalt, I do fermentation of salt in okra slime. That is very simple. Either you can ferment the salt in okra slime or in fermented rice starch. So you have to just keep for 7 days. The procedure is there. So introduce this biosalt. Avoid oils in cooking. Rather use nut paste or nut butters or nut powders processed properly. Separating the starches, separating the foam in this thing, like from the legumes, and containers. These are important things. And include fruits definitely at least one time in your diet. It may be morning breakfast or dinner or lunch, but see that you don't mix cooked food and fruits. Have 1 hour gap before cooked food or 3 hours after cooked food.
Oh.
And fruits should be seasonal, local, and properly ripened. Like if you
Okay.
eat a banana which is not ripe, then you will have acidity, constipation, indigestion, gastric, everything, diabetes also. So it should be properly ripe. So if you see my videos, you will understand how to select a ripe fruit and all. And vegetables, raw vegetables you can have along with your cooked food. So these things, apart from this, proper rest, reduce your gadgets, spend time in nature at least for some time, ground yourself, earthing, sun charge, tree connection. That's it. You are having a happy life. No health problems will come. Even if one has, we can reverse easily when we are practicing this simple things.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you all.
Thank you all for joining us.